definitely the word as we celebrate Cardinal wins. Dougie D loves what he sees as his squad wins in a close one. Red in his usual spot on the sidelines to support his Cards. We always bring the love in everything we do. So celebrate those wins with us. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And, you know, it's starting to really feel like fall weather out now, and just perfect for this time of year.
A little bit more like fall, but
Yep.
what a fall we're having. A lot of exciting things to talk about, but I know it gets us maybe unfairly more excited than other things as a football team that's really playing well right now. And I think there's a lot of people who are very excited about it.
I think so as well. I mean, we love every sport here, obviously, at Coon Rapids, but, you know, it's got that something a little special for that nip in the air, and it's Friday night lights. It's a lot of fun.
Well, and that is where we will start. Lot riding on the Cardinals game on Friday. Their trip to Robbinsdale Armstrong could determine the champion in the Suburban Blue. Cardinals were flying high for last week's homecoming game, riding a 3-game winning streak and facing an opponent still looking for its first win. Park Center Pirates had been shut out twice and had given up at least 40 points in 3 of their 4 games. Homecoming crowd was fired up on a beautiful night for football, and the Cardinals defense sets the tone early. Miles Taylor gets the tackle for a loss. And then the offense threatening midway through the first. Sonny Tao on the receiver screen. He had 3 catches for 31 yards, but left with an injury in the first quarter. 3rd and goal from the 3. Quarterback option. Jake Van Holzen keeps it, splits a couple of defenders for the score. Cardinals up 7-0. Van Holzen had a really nice night looking for that receiver screen again. It's not there, so he takes off up the middle, able to pick up 19 yards on this carry. But the Cardinals facing 4th and 9 from the Pirates 35. Van Holzen has time, has a man. He finds Josh El Cedillo between the zone. Gain of 24 out of bounds at the 11-yard line. That set up another Van Holzen touchdown. Option again, finds the seam, and he's in from the 9, almost untouched. Coon Rapids up 14 after the first. Defense was dominant. Ty King and David Jeebley combined for this TFL. The Pirates had negative 23 yards rushing in the game and less than 50 yards of total offense. Jeebley on the offensive end side of the ball now. A nice pickup on this carry. He led the Cardinals with 15 carries for 83 yards. But it's Van Holzen that gets the call at the goal line, and why not? His 3rd score of the game, just looking way too easy. He had 44 yards on 10 carries and the 3 scores. His passing numbers not as impressive as the last couple of games, but he still gets his receivers involved. Bubble screen left for Jordan Doe. He picks up big yards after the catch, a 31-yard gain deep into Pirates territory. 3 plays later, on play action, Van Holzen to Doe again, this time for the 13-yard score, 28-0 midway through the second quarter. Cardinals didn't score again, but they didn't need to. That is the final score.
Well, you talk about defense, and this defense is flying to the ball, and that's exactly what they need, and certainly what they're going to need for next week. I thought Jake did a nice job of really controlling what he wanted to do. Second half, I thought, was a little lackadaisical in some respects. I mean, this Park Center team really wasn't really a good test for the Cardinals. But I like what Jake did on the ground, because he didn't have to have that passing game that he had the last couple of weeks. He was able to do it on the ground, and those 3 touchdowns and the 1 passing was pretty impressive.
Well, and a big question mark for Sonny Tao. He's really a spark for this offense. He's so quick, and if you get the other 2 big receivers out in front who block very well downfield, they can turn nothing into a lot in a big hurry. So hopefully he's okay. The only concern I see is how many games they've put up big numbers in the first half and not done so as much in the second half. Now, granted, they had some backup players in this week, but they need 4 quarters on Friday if they hope to beat the Armstrong Falcons.
Armstrong is very, very good. Number 5 in the state for a reason, and obviously it's going to be a test. Coon Rapids plays defense the way that they've been playing, and their offense, they don't turn the ball over. Good field position. They've got a really good opportunity to go into Armstrong and get the win.
Well, Armstrong got another win last week. They are still undefeated at 5-0, beating up on Irondale 44-7. Spring Lake Park slipped past Hopkins 13-7, and Parker Cottage Grove beat Forest Lake 14-12 in a little cross-divisional matchup. So there you see it. Armstrong and Coon Rapids atop the leaderboard at 4-0 in division play. Spring Lake Park at 2-2. Hopkins and Forest Lake at 1-2. Irondale now 1-3. Park Center 0-4, 0-5 overall. So Cardinals at Armstrong on Friday, then come home for their last home game of the regular season. They host Hopkins, and that will be their last division game of the season.
Yeah, good stuff coming up, and obviously you got to take one game at a time. But you look, once you get past Armstrong, you look at those last two games. Those are obviously very winnable games, and you hope to close the season out well. But let's worry about Friday first.
Big game on Friday.
Huge.
The tennis team has a big game on Thursday. They are the number 6 seed in the Section 5 AA tournament. Last week in the crossover match, Cardinals losing to Rogers 5-2, a team they had beaten a couple of times already this year, but they lose in the crossover match. A little nicked up with some injuries. The wins come from Grace Hanula at first singles and Caitlin Severson at second singles. Tough 3-set loss for Samet at third. And the team of Newton and Goldman at first doubles lost a close one, 3-6, 4-6. On Thursday, they will host the winner of Anoka and Park Center, hoping to advance into the quarterfinal round for Section 5 AA play as the number 6 seed. They've had a great year, 13-3. They want to make a little bit of a run in the postseason, both as a team and individually. Yeah,
13-3. It's an incredible year, and I think it's obviously a little bit of disappointment that they lost to Rogers, a team they had beaten previously. And you know what? Maybe it's good to get a loss under your belt. Who knows? But now you have to win. Now you got to win to stay in.
Well, volleyball team this past week went to Park Center as well, and much like the football team, they found success against the Pirates. Cardinals fell behind 0-2 before winning the last 3, and winning so rather decidedly, 25-15, 25-13, and 25-13. Becca Masteller led the team with 20 kills, 3 aces, and 2 blocks. Michaela Wilbur had 13 kills, 10 digs, a double-double. And that's a nice win. Moves them to 4-8 on the year.
Yeah, really nice considering they dropped the first 2 and able to come back and win the next 3. That's impressive. Well, the Cardinals' road trip got a bit bumpier on Thursday night when they traveled to Champlin Park. The Rebels, they're undefeated in conference play. They're ranked 9th in the state, and their only losses are to other top 10 teams. The Cardinals will be hard-pressed to keep pace with one of the best teams around. Coon Rapids trailing early in the first set and trying to keep the Rebels from running away. Good mid-court attack from Becca Masteller gets past the block for the point. But just so many weapons on the other side of the net. Weak pass back on the serve receive, and the Rebels take advantage. Set to the middle, Sammy Hilly slams it to the floor. Champlin Park opens the match with a 25-14 win in the first. Cardinals looking for a good start in the second. Good turn on the opening serve. Set up goes to Michaela Wilbur, and she gets the kill. Coon Rapids has the lead. They keep things close until midway through when the Rebels start to pull away. Setting up on their left side for Jordan Staples. She bangs it off the top of the net to the floor. Champlin Park takes the second set 25-13. Well, the Cardinals trying to stay alive in the fourth. Good setup across front for Masteller. She gets the kill and keeps the score close, at least for a little while anyway. Well, it doesn't last long, though. Champlin Park running away with this one down the stretch. Cardinals able to rally to return this serve, but the Rebels turn right around. Back set for Ellie Schmidt. She leaves no doubt. The Rebels sweep up with a 25-12 win in that third set.
Yeah, they're a tough team. And you look at just scrolling through the teams they've played, how well they've played against those other top 10 teams, losing a lot of close matches. But, yeah, you look at their schedule, and it's a who's who of who in the top 10.
It really is.
Only one of those top 10 teams, not from AAA. It was the number 3 ranked team in AA. Any guesses?
3 ranked? Yeah, I should know this. I do not.
Minneota.
Oh, I should know that.
Volleyball
Home of
team.
Neil Hannon.
Big matchup coming up on Thursday. It's their Dig Pink for Breast Cancer Night as they host Anoka, and then they host Chisago next Tuesday. It's possible those are the last 2 home games. Don't quote me on that. They may have one more behind that. But at all of their home games, they are collecting crayons and school supplies to be donated to local charities. But dig pink for breast cancer. If you are available on Thursday night, come out and support the volleyball team. They'll have donations, some extra concessions, a lot of stuff going on to raise money. Last year's event raised over $2,000 for local families dealing with breast cancer. All right, swimming and diving team started its week with a dual meet that had serious postseason implications. Cardinals had and the Orioles both trying to stay out of the last place meet, the tri-meet in the conference tournament. They were very evenly matched in this battle of the birds, went right down to the wire. Coon Rapids took the lead with first place finishes in each of the first 4 events. Senior Tamala King won a close race in the 200 free, tagging up in 2 minutes 9.83 seconds, just a half second ahead of second place. 200 IM, it's sophomore Ella Hacker's turn to set the pace, and no one in the pool comes close to matching it. Hacker coasts to the win, 2 minutes 18.87 seconds. Osseo takes the 2, 3, 4 spots though, and it stays close. 50 free, school record holder Megan Schulte has her hands full with Osseo's Amber Kronquist, but she's able to out-tap her for the win. Coon Rapids led by 10, but a 1-2-3 finish for Osseo, and diving tied things up after 5 events, and this one stays close to the end. Emma Schmidt got the Cardinals another first-place finish in the 500 free. She wins easily in 5 minutes 54.45 seconds, but they led by just 4 points with 4 events left. Lead changed after each of those 4 events. Cardinals made some last-minute changes for their 400 relay lineups. They needed 2 of the top 3 places to win, and they got it. The team of Emma Schmidt, Laura McCarr, Ella Schmidt, Smith, Jeanette, and Megan Schultz took first. The team of Michaela D'Souza, Jadalyn Michalowski, Madeline Pickett, and Ella Hacker took third to secure the win for the Cardinals. 95-89 the final.
That was a lot of fun. Obviously, it came down to the very last event, and we were there. We got a chance to witness it. And Coach Donaldson talked to us. He said, this is going to be close. This is probably going to go right down to the wire, and it really did.
And they changed their lineup. They took Ella Hacker out of that A relay, switched her and Smith Jeanette just to give them a little bit stronger finish on the third, the B squad, to make sure they got that third place. Had Osseo been able to win, they would have won the event.
Fun.
Had Osseo taken second and third, it would have ended in a tie, and they have no tiebreaker in swimming.
Nope, would have been a tie.
You learn something new every time
swim
you go
off.
to Northdale. All right, Cardinals, I have a couple of very tough ones, and both on the road coming. I will back up. On Saturday, they went to St. Peter, and Megan Schultz does what Megan Schultz has been doing all season long. She's setting records. She set pool records at this event for the 200 IM and the 100 breast. The 100 breast, she already had that one. So she just broke her own record. She now owns 3 pool records in St. Peter.
Phenomenal.
Very impressive. Ella Hacker, a couple of first-place finishes as well in the 100 fly and the 200 free. 400 free relay team finished first. Laura McCarr had a second-place finish in the 100 free, and Tamala King finished third place in the 500 free. Now I can talk about the rough couple of weeks they've got coming up.
They do.
They're at Park Center tonight, Tuesday night. Then they're off until next Thursday when they're at Centennial. So a couple of tough matches against conference teams, both on the road.
At Champlain Park, by the way.
Yes.
Yes. You said Park Center. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew.
You are correct.
I am correct.
Thank you for reminding me.
First time of the year.
At Champ.
I'm going to mark. Wait, you got a pen? I got to mark that
I
down.
don't. At Champlain Park, a much tougher squad
Yes.
than is Park Center.
Yep.
Cross-country teams, biggest event, they were at Malacca Mega Meet a week earlier this week, and they were at the GRIAC Invitational. This is huge, bigger than the Malacca Mega Meet. I know we said last week, Malacca Mega Meet, largest cross-country, high school cross-country event in the world. It is. This is a high school and college event. They have multiple levels of college, men's and women's. It's a fantastic event, and the boys, wow. I think in 20 years that they've been running it, I don't know when the last time was they finished that well as a team. 12th place overall, 50 teams involved in this event. Noah Christensen had the top finish in 87th place. Andre Kemboy was in 94th. Reed Smith and Michael Smith were right together at 115th and 118th. And then Thoen finished in 145th. On the girls' side, they finished in 50th place, but I think it's a great opportunity for these girls to get out and run in this event rather than have them run some type of, run them in the Mustang Invite the night before in the JV. They put a full squad out there for the Roy Griak, which is fantastic. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. There were some events that they just wouldn't have a strong enough team to put a varsity squad in for every event. And this is one of those events you go, well, it's some of the top teams in the state, in the region. So they just said, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to see what we can do. And they can hold their heads high. Even at 411th place, there's over 500 runners.
It's crazy how many people how many runners that they have in that event. It's just great.
Yeah. And this week, there's your pen. Thank you, Tom. This week, my favorite event. Why? Because of the name. Greatest name in sports. Thundering Royal Elk Invite is Thursday at Fox Hollow. The Northwest Suburban Conference meet is next week in Elk River on Thursday. So that's the big one. The one when both boys and girls teams, but especially the boys team, hoping to really put everything together and come away with something special.
Yeah, let's hope so. I just got to make sure. It's Tuesday, October 1st. Howie
was
is right. Nice. Okay.
Don't forget to put the year on there.
Oh, yeah. 2019.
All right.
There you go.
Moving right along. You're up.
I'm up after a disappointing. We just got off track, didn't we? After a disappointing loss on Monday, the Cardinals were back on the home turf for Thursday, what they saw as a very winnable game. The Roger Royals had nearly an identical record and had a similar result against common opponents. It was going to be close, but if the Cardinals game was on, they could score win number 4. The Royals pounced on the Cardinals early, corner kick in the first minute, perfectly placed, and Chris Rooney there for the header. Rogers up 1-0 right away. Well, set plays, they were huge for them early on. Another corner from the other side. They attacked the middle this time. Judd Anderson gets there to redirect the Royals' roar to a 2-0 lead, but a lot of game left to play. Well, Cardinals need a comeback. Get on the attack. Elmer Begic battling his way through 3 Rogers defenders, then a left footer back across his body for the goal. Nice goal there. Coon Rapids cuts the lead in half. When they continue to pressure, Yukon Harmon leading the charge this time coming up. Gets a good shot on. The goalie makes the save, but Muhammad Fadi is right there to jump on the rebound and put it to the wide open net. All tied up, and the home team has the momentum. Still first half, the Cardinals are keeping Rogers bottled up, and watch this play by Elmer Begic. He forces his way through numerous defenders, gets in close, beats the keeper for the second time. His second, and Coon Rapids has the 3-2 lead at the half. Nice goal. That was nice. Still 40 minutes to play. No, the Royals weren't going to roll over. Pressure coming down the left wing. Alex Bowman's shot is stopped, but rebound is right there for Alex Rechter to fire it into a yawning cage. We're tied again at 3. Well, about 10 minutes left. Coon Rapids with a costly turnover in their own end. Bowman with space, lost it to the far side. That was the game winner. The Cardinals drop another close contest by a 4-3 score. Tough one to lose.
Yeah, and that's 2 weeks in a row that they had games like that where they felt it was a winnable game. They put numbers on the board and just weren't able to hold it.
Yep.
The St. Francis game a week earlier, and now here against Rogers. And in this conference, you have to try and get any win you can.
You do.
So you can't let those ones slip away. They're very costly. And every year we talk about teams, winning, the difference between winning and losing those 4-3, those one-run games, those one-goal games,
always tough.
Those one-set games in tennis. Look at what the tennis team's done, 13-3, and they've been incredible in those 4-3 contests. And that's what can really turn the season around. So I think both boys and girls teams so close to turning a corner, but need to be able to get those wins in order to do so. On Saturday, this was not a very winnable game for the Cardinals. Park Center's pretty good.
They're really good.
And they ran up the score on the Cardinals, 6-0 the final. and the Cardinals' record falls to 3-9-1. They wrap up the regular season this week. They're at Centennial tonight, Tuesday night. They host Maple Grove on Thursday, and then St. Paul Johnson on Saturday to complete the regular season.
Yeah, and weather, fortunately it stopped raining as of tonight's game for the soccer team, so hopefully they get a relatively dry field. It's going to be a little wet, but a
I'm
little
sure
slippery.
It's very damp.
But hopefully they'll get the contest in.
Well, when the girls' soccer field took the team, when the girls' team, start one more time. When the girls' soccer team took the field on Thursday, they knew they would have their hands full with a very solid opponent. Rogers Royals started the season 5-2 before losing 3 straight, so they were coming in fired up trying to break their skid. Meanwhile, the Cardinals were looking for something to spark a late season push. This one very close with end-to-end action, both teams getting chances early. This one played in deep for Bailey Payne. She one-times it, but it's wide and off the side of the net. Pressure back the other way. Izzy Smith with a perfect pass to create a great chance for Abby Elmquist, but Maddie Hedlund comes up with a huge save. That keeps the game scoreless through the first half. Early in the second, Rogers gets a bounce and wins a race. Ball gets behind the defense, and Elmquist uses her speed to find the space. She lost one to a perfect place out of Hedlund's reach, and Rogers is on the board first. Cardinals looking for the equalizer. Molly Knobloch challenged in the middle, but able to get off a good shot. Keeper just able to make the save high on the left side. Rogers could have had more than one, but Maddie Hedlund played big to keep her team in it. Another great save on the shot by Izzy Quintaville. Hedlund had 14 saves, but the Cardinals' offense came up empty, and they lose 1-0 for the 4th time this season.
Yeah, it's tough in any season to lose a game 1-0 lead 1-0 game 4 times. That's difficult, and those are the things you want to be able to turn around, and that's I know what Coach Kern is trying to get his squad to be able to do. Instead of the loss 1-0, get the 1-0 win.
Well, and it's just as we were talking about with the boys, it's huge to win those 1-goal games. It can definitely turn a season around. But here you've got that 1 goal is all that was scored.
Yep.
On the one hand, you're going, hey, our defense is playing really well. Our goaltender is playing really
very well.
But we need to get a little more offense. But you have to remember with this girls' team, it's all sophomores up front
very young.
and a freshman.
Very young.
So they have a very exciting future. But as with all high school sports, that's one of the greatest things about high school sports is no matter what happens during the regular season, you get to the postseason, you've got another chance. Granted, if you go in as a lower seed, you face a stronger opponent right away. But
got to beat them to win it all.
The Cinderella stories have to come from somewhere.
That is very correct, Mr. Young.
Well, the girls' soccer team will also finish the week out. That's right. They went to Park Center. That was a win.
Yay,
they win the 2-0 win.
Yes.
I got so far ahead of myself. This definitely is not a record-winning show unless we're competing in the comedy
well, then we win gold.
Cardinals win 2-0 against Park Center. Their girls' team not quite the same as their boys' team. Maylee and Taylor had the goals. Kylie Scott and Rory Ritzenaya had the assists. Maddie Hedlund had 7 saves to record her 2nd shutout of the season. They are at Centennial tonight, Tuesday night, hosting Maple Grove and hosting St. Paul Johnson.
Next 2 games, very tough. Very, very tough. Centennial, Maple Grove, rated very good soccer team, so they'll have the work cut out for them.
Well, and again, we go back to next week they're talking playoffs.
Yep.
This gives them a great idea what to expect from
no
a top-level
question.
team to see teams like Centennial and Maple Grove
Yep.
in the final week of the regular season. We have some exciting things happening for you here on CTN this week. On Thursday night, we're at the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse for the Dig Pink event for volleyball. Wear your pink, bring your wallet, donate some money, help a great cause.
$10 for a great T-shirt. Make sure you buy one of those.
And then on Friday night at Armstrong, on the road, a battle that very well could decide the champion in the Suburban Blue. And then soccer playoffs next week.
Boy, it's going quickly, isn't it?
It's already almost time for that other season.
It's amazing. Your favorite one?
We've got, not necessarily.
Okay.
I love them all.
I know you do.
but we will get there. So very exciting things happening this week, and very excited to see what happens over the next couple as we head into tournament time around here on CTN. We will have some postseason results for you next week on Sports Night. But until then, we want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.